Okay, first and foremost, Erica Mena, you're behind. I don't know if you had implants or injections or whatever you had. Homegirl, it is sagging. That photo shoot that you had with the kids, it was cute, but and you didn't look bad, but your behind is sagging, girl. Um, Next thing, Sierra, no beef, no smoke. But to be honest, I bought your cookbook. I told you all I'm not one of those people that act like I can't support some black owned businesses when it's not ghetto. Not like that, but like as long as it's not like bad customer service. When I say ghetto, I didn't want nobody to say, "Oh, what you trying to say? Her stuff called Ghetto Girls Eat." No, I mean like long as they not mistreating the customers, I don't mind spending my money. Right? Boom. But I'm gonna tell you all, I bought that Ghetto Girls Eat cookbook, and it was digital, right? Um, One thing I did not like about the cookbook, I'm gonna be honest. I had to print out all the pages because I know they said, "Oh, we'll just download it to your phone." Who really wants something downloaded to their phone? As we all know, that can take up space in your phone. To be honest, I think it was a cheap move because what you did was, I know people say you save when people create books, they save money doing the digital and stuff like that versus actually getting the books printed and stuff like that. um I think it was cheap, but when people trying to support you, you got to also think about the consumer. I had to use a lot of paper printing all those pages. I had to use a lot of ink printing all those pages. Then what I did was I used the old binder that I didn't have, that I didn't have, I really wasn't using. Then I had to go through the pages and hole punch all the pages, which I told somebody this, and she was like, "Girl, you are too organized." Because if I had to do all that, I would have just said F it. But, I paid $50 for that book. So even though it was digital, I wanted to get my $50 worth. I'm going to just be honest. I really do. To be honest, I think it was a cheap move. And it kind of, to be honest, after that, I probably won't buy nothing else from you. Um, but yeah, so I had to I had to go get some sheet protectors. I'm real big on sheet protectors. I don't care. I always, even going to school, even in college, and now I'm in grad school, and I'm real big on sheet protectors. Um, just to make it look nice and neat. I said to myself, damn, if I wanted to buy a school book, you know what I'm saying? I could have went to my school bookstore. You know, I just think it was a waste of money, to be honest, and I don't see myself buying anything else from you, to be honest. Okay, you all, I'm gonna be honest. I have not watched Love and Hip Hop. What's this? The reunion in a while. To be honest, once Jocelyn left, I told you all before, I kind of was put out with the franchise. Um, to me, to be honest, once Jocelyn left, Hollywood took on the map. Hollywood is actually one of my favorite franchises. I still watch that to this day on Hulu. When I'm at my night job, I still watch that to this day on Hulu. Um, I think it was. I do remember, Eric. Last time I seen that, kind of tells you that how long it's been since I watched it. Last time I seen Eric up here, they were just so in love. I think I remember something. They said something happened. I think he cheat. Excuse me. I think he cheated or something. Don't quote me on it. I don't know. But all I can say is, if it is true, if he really did do that, that's effed up, and it's very selfish for him to get on her red carpet talking about I'm Sierra's whatever, and I'm one of the co-founders of da da da. Look, that's selfish. Okay, we all know you probably put a little coin there to help her out, as you should. That's her. You her man at one. You was her man at one point. That's what men are supposed to do. They're supposed to put funds to their woman's dreams. Like that's. Come on now, that's like saying you the man, you stand with your old lady and you help pay a couple of bills every now and then. Duh, that's what you're supposed to do. If you just stay there, even if you spending the night every now and then. Of course, I expect you to, you know what I'm saying, say something like that. But that was very selfish. This is her moment. Don't do that. Okay, first and foremost, I'm not buying the Amara La Negra and Safari relationship at all. Not for 1 second. I believe it's a storyline. To be honest, they don't even look right together. In my opinion, they don't even. They, if anything, they look like they could be like cousins or something like that. They don't. Not to say they favor, but it's not given. It's not given. Like it's not given. She just don't seem like he would be. She would be his type. If that makes sense, like she don't seem like she. Let me leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Spice, mind your damn business. I can see why sometimes Erica seem like she want to slap the shit out of you because you talking about I'm a woman first. And stop trying to. I hate when bitches do that. Like y'all try to put stamp. Y'all try to be nosy and pry in people's business and dress it up as I'm a woman first. Just say you want to know what's tea. You just want to know what's going on. Stop saying you a woman first just so you could be nosy. Because first and foremost, you ain't got no business asking about that girl personal business when y'all already at odds. I'm a woman first. That's none of your damn business. You think I'm asking any of my old enemies or whoever what they got going on or what's going on with y'all? I don't give a damn. Okay, and you need to be the same way. Don't, I'm a woman first. They ain't got nothing to do with you. Even if he won't handle his responsibilities, you can't make him. Being nosy and trying to act, and then trying to act like you don't mean no harm. Girl, boo. Okay, so heads up. I'm sure a lot of you all are not going to like my commentary on the Erica Mena and Spice situation. And I'm sure you all know that I really don't give a damn. But nonetheless, here's how I feel about the situation. First and foremost, I was gonna give you all a review on the show. I watched it for a little while. I really couldn't get into it. You know, I told you all once Jocelyn left the show, the Atlanta franchise, it was not the same in my opinion. You know, once Jocelyn left, out of all the franchises, Hollywood became my favorite because Hollywood was always with the shits. They was always with it. I actually still watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood to this day. And on my night job, I still watch it. You know, I have to stay woke. So nonetheless, Erica Mena, right? I don't feel when she said Blue Monkey, I don't feel that she was just saying that in the heat of the argument. I don't feel that way. I do feel Erica Mena is one of those people. You ever heard somebody say a person can be an R word and still sleep with black men or still sleep with black women? At first, when I was younger, I didn't believe in it. Like, okay, so this is what frustrates me with people. I think a lot of people these days, they so quick to pull. Let me tell you something about a lot of you bitches. And that goes beyond Erica Mena and just, you know, regular situations. I think that's in life. I've noticed this. I've been through this myself. A lot of the time, you bitches, y'all like to blow the whistle. Meaning, y'all like the dog whistle. Because, let me give you an example. Y'all are so quick to say, oh, she was talking about my kids. Oh, she just was that. She did it out. Because you know, in these days and age, if you say somebody talked about somebody's kids, you already know everybody can be like, oh, hold up. Kids off limits. Kids off limits. You already know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You dog whistling to get the room in your favor. To get people on your team. You know what you're doing. Just because, I'm going to tell you something. It's a difference when somebody say you an ain't shit parent versus talking about your child. That's different. That's different. Stop saying people talking about your child just because they say you a weekend mom or you a part-time dad. That's not talking about your kids. That's saying that you're not doing right by your kids. That's saying that you're not front and center when it comes to your children. That's not saying nothing about your child. Talking about your child is like me saying your child clothes or your child hair or saying something around that nature. Like, and even if somebody say you need to comb your baby hair, for example, that's not talking about your child. That's saying as a parent, you supposed to make sure your kids don't go without. You supposed to make sure your kids are up to par, teeth brush, clothes on them nice and neat. That's like an example, like the cousin I told y'all about that's with the dope boys. My dudes be raising hell when they see her kids, without which are her grandchildren. You know, she raised hell if it's like kind of cold outside, or even how the weather started to change and they don't have no shoes on or they don't have no socks on. And she'll say, well, they on my hip, so I didn't have to put shoes on them. What do you mean you don't have to put shoes on them? The weather is changing. They could catch a cold. That's not her talking about her kids. That's her being concerned. So she'll be like, oh, well, like one time she tried to say that in front of me. And then this was when I was younger. Then she told me to go in the room, but I was ear hustling. And she said, I ain't had the money to get to shoot them some shoes. So my dudes had gave her a couple $100 so she could go get her some shoes for them. Then when they came back the next weekend, they still ain't had no shoes on. My dudes was pissed off. My dudes was like, what did you do with the money? That's an example. Like if a bitch in the street say, oh, her baby ain't got no shoes on, that's not her talking about your kids. She's saying you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a parent. That's not talking about your kids. Stop trying to dog whistle bitches to be in your corner because you don't want to accept the fact that you're an ain't shit parent. And I think that's the same thing with Erica Mena. She always so busy trying to dog whistle. Leave my son out of it. Stop talking about my son. You trying to dog whistle for people to say, oh, wait a minute. I know she ain't talking about kids. You know what you doing, bitch. I hate bitches like that. You know what you doing. You trying to dog whistle the whole community to be on your team so they could. Now you trying to bring them in the droves. You know what you doing, bitch. It's not right. Because truth be told, they been saying that about you, Erica. And y'all know I'm big on, okay, we not going to do what everybody else say. We not going to believe what everybody else say, because y'all know I believe in people can't follow the masses. But hell, did y'all catch when she said, did y'all clock T when she said, how did you know that? You know what I'm saying? That means that Spice knew more than what she thought she knew. The most embarrassing thing in the world for a next bitch to know something from your dude. I never been through nothing like that. One thing I can say, me and my ex, we didn't work out at the end. But one thing I can say, he lied to me and told me that we was going to work things out. And he ended up being with the girl he told me was his sister. I told y'all that once before. But one thing I can say about him, even though what he did in the end was effed up, but I believe he was getting me back because when we first got together, I didn't know how to treat him. So like I told him, to each his own, you had the last laugh. It's all good. It's like that sometimes. But guess what? One thing I can say about him, he wasn't messy. He was not messy. Even though he lied to me and told me what that girl was his sister. And I knew it wasn't his sister because I've met his family. They have strong genes, right? One thing I can say, I ain't never had nobody call my phone. I ain't never been arguing with nobody. I ain't never heard nothing that we went through. I ain't never heard it come out of the next bitch mouth. I don't care how much me and him argue, beefing. I never heard it come out of not a soul mouth. Not a soul. I never heard it come out of a next bitch mouth. Not once. I never had nobody approach me about shit. I know he didn't like drama. He did not like it. He didn't like it. He did not like drama. I never had that happen. To this day, I never met that girl. Not even a conversation. Even though he lied about it, he kept it separate. So, like I always say, that's embarrassing for you. I'm gonna tell you how Spice probably knew that. Safari told her. That's where I'm getting at. Safari told her. Safari told Erica business about her son. And in the heated argument, it came out of Spice's mouth. How you think she know that? Y'all have a mutual contact. Ain't you cool? Ain't she cool with Safari? That's why I always tell y'all, never underestimate that mutual contact stuff. That's something I had to learn myself, and life had to spank me a couple times about that. I always tell y'all, a friend of my enemy could never be a friend of mine. I've had to learn that a couple of times. A couple of times. No, I never heard my business come out of an enemy mouth. But I will tell you this. I've had bitches get in front of other people and act funny towards me real bad. I mean real bad. I mean grunting on you, sarcasm, and just the little shit. Getting in front of people, but it be the little stuff we overlook that hold great value. I always tell y'all that. But stop dog whistling. Stop dog whistling. You know what you're doing. Ain't nobody talking about your son because they saying you an ain't shit parent, a social media mom. And nobody's talking about your child. They're saying that you're not doing your part because you're his mother. Last time I checked, when I have kids, when that day comes, last time I checked, I believe motherhood is 24 hours a day. I'm going to tell you something. When I become a mom, I'm not going to be one of those moms, you 18, you grown, it's time to get on your own. Because to me, I'm a mom until the day I close my eyes. And then I'm my baby's guardian angel. A mom's job is never done. Erica, they been saying you ain't there for that boy. I don't believe in listening to everything you hear. But I don't mean no harm. Quiet as it's kept, we never see you with him. You proclaim he don't want to be in social media light, which is understandable. Understandable. But damn, like, we don't see that many pictures with y'all either. Hell, it's been a lot of celebrities that they say their kids don't want to be in the light. But we at least see pictures with them. I understand. I understand. I told y'all, I believe in keeping certain shit private too. Your relationship. Hell, my ex, my own cousin, she said we was one time we was pulling up and he was getting out the car. And she said, "Who was that?" I said, "That's my old man." She said, "Girl, I didn't know you had a boyfriend. When was you gonna tell me this? It ain't none of your business. None of your business. None of your business." I believe in it. Don't be putting your people on social media. Some of these bitches is thirsty. Some of these bitches, And like they say, oh, what's yours is yours and this and that. I know, understandable, but still. Leave a little bit of mystery about yourself. But I mean, hell, you show the other two kids. You have more than two children, Erica. She ain't lied. That's not her talking about your son. She just pointing out the obvious. You are not a mom of two. Last time I checked, you have three. If not more, but I believe it's three. Don't quote me on it. I don't know. But I know for a fact you got more than two. But you show the other two, but you have three. Or four, however many you have. Don't quote me on it. But I know you have more than two for a fact. Stop dog whistling. It's not cool. Now, y'all not gonna like what I'm about to say. But I told you all numerous times before, it's not like this is my first time telling you all how I feel about this particular subject. But I can say this because I have experienced it. Okay, now, y'all say it's a double standard with homophobia and things like that, right? But if I'm gonna be 100% honest, like I told you all once before, a lot of the members, I'm not gonna say all, but I'm gonna say a lot of the members in the LGBTQ community, a lot of you all are bullies in y'all own little way. Now, I say that to say, yes, what Erica Mena said was wrong. 100%, she was wrong. Now, do I believe she's a R word? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not going to sit up here and say I don't believe that people can lay up with the opposite sex of a different nationality and not feel some type of way towards that particular race. I'm not going to say that because I told you all I was talking to a Caucasian guy once before, a couple of times actually. And one particular time, my dukes actually brought that up in my face the other day, which she pissed me off when she did that. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually hung up the phone because I felt like that was totally unrelated to the subject at hand. But nonetheless, that's a conversation for another day. And she was like, I told you, people of certain descents can be R words too. Remember when you was talking to so and so? I said, okay, what does that have to do with this? But anyway, nonetheless, I was upset about that. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Before I disrespect her, I just hang up the phone. Because that upset me. But anyway, which I know is not right either way, but still, the thing was, every time we would get into it, he would call me an animal word. If I wasn't a hippopotamus, I was a koala bear. If I wasn't a koala bear, I was an elephant. you know. So my godmother told me one time, she said, you keep laughing, but one of these days a monkey gonna slip. One of these days a monkey gonna slip. So she will always tell me, you just tickle pink because he give you anything you want, he take you out, da da da. But his true feelings are coming out. How he really feels towards you as a person, being a Black African American woman, that is coming out every time he gets mad. But I didn't care because I knew, like I told him, you can call me all these things, but you the one be going down on me with your eyes rolling to the back of your head, so obviously you love this African American twat, so hey, so nonetheless, my godmother and my dudes will always tell me that doesn't mean anything. Just because he likes going down on you, that doesn't mean he doesn't feel a certain way towards Black women. Me personally, at first, I didn't really understand it, but he go down on me. He be down there like hours and hours at a time. Like, they will always say that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. He just like being down there. That don't mean he likes African American women. You know, So I remember my guy friend once telling me people do not have to particularly like the other race to kick it with them. I didn't understand it. I still don't understand that. What do you mean you don't have to like somebody to kick it with them? You have to like somebody to hang out with them. And he was trying to explain to me sometimes it could be motives. How do you know they just don't want a mixed baby? How do you know they just don't want something from you? How do you know they're not doing it for clout? Look who I'm with. Me personally, I gotta actually like somebody or be fond of somebody to have them around me. But different strokes for different folks. Nonetheless, back to the subject at hand, what I was alluding to. I see a lot of people in the comments under the Erica Amena stuff saying, how could she call that girl monkey? How could she do this? How could she do that? Just like with the LGBTQ. It's like y'all always want to come ring the siren. Everything don't have to be about y'all. Everything does not have to be about y'all. Stop making how we go from this girl calling this girl monkey to y'all bringing y'all stuff in it. Why can't we just stick to the subject at hand? Because truthfully, just like y'all could call her out about that, and y'all bring it on back to last time we checked, Erica Mena is a member of the LGBTQ community. Remember Sin Santana? You know, so what does that have to do? I mean, I know we can have that conversation, but let's just stick to the subject at hand, because a lot of y'all LGBT people, y'all, I'm gonna just say alphabet people, a lot of y'all have shit with y'all. Okay, a lot of you have shit with y'all. Y'all like to push people into doing what y'all want them to do, and I still stand on that. Y'all know I've told y'all this before. Y'all like to push people, y'all like to bully people into doing what y'all want people to do. And it's full of cap, it's full of shit. Just like one time, I told you all, I wish I could put this girl mugshot up here. She's still on the run to this day. Like literally, my dude still be reminding me of her. Did they get Big Dot yet? Did they get Big Dot yet? I'm like, no. I be asking her the same thing. Did they get Big Dot yet? She said no. So, nonetheless, I told you all about the person that I went to school with back in the day. In the story time that I told y'all about, bully I had to stab. Long story short, I told y'all that she was arrested when she's on the run. Actually, they're looking for her because she's wanted for the M word. You know what the M word is? An attempted M word. So she's still on the run. If I'm not mistaken, it's going on a month now. They still ain't got that girl. Long story short, I told y'all that she tried to bully me into giving her a kiss. I didn't want to give her a kiss. And we got to fighting, and I ended up having to stab her. This was back in high school. It was self-defense. I ended up graduating high school, going on to community college. Shit happened in community college, so I ended up transferring my credits to a university. Ended up graduating from the university. Now I'm in grad school. Now she's arrested for something like that. So we kind of see how that ended. Boom. So more of the story. I told y'all I'm gonna give y'all a detailed story time of the whole fight in general one day. Boom. But where I'm alluding to, I don't like when people always say it's a double standard against the LGBTQ. Not saying that all people in that community is a certain way, but a lot of you feel like if a person don't want to try what you want them to try, y'all try to bully them into being gay. Let's just be honest. A lot of y'all try to do that. Let's just be honest. A lot of y'all do. So, you know, I told you all once before that I once let a girl go down on me. Okay? I told you all that once before. Matter of fact, I let her do it twice. I'm not gonna lie. You know? So, I didn't do her. She did me. You know? So when I say, I'm not saying everybody in that community is a certain way. You know, because I'm not gonna say everybody in that community is bullies. They try to bully people into doing what they want them to do. Because I told her, you know, I don't put my mouth on nothing but a spoon and fork. I told her that up front. Before this was back like early on in college. You know, I didn't have a car then. I told y'all I used to take the bus. So I told her, and she was a little older than me. So she had the means to come get me. And I told her, she said she wanted to do it for a while. So I told her, I said, I don't put my mouth on nothing but a spoon and fork. And I'm very selfish in bed. I told her that up front. She said that was cool. She won't a diet. She was a regular female. So she was cool with it. So nonetheless, more of the story, I'm not saying that everybody in that particular community is a certain way. Because like I just told you all, she was cool with it. The first time, it was cool. The second time, she said she got tired of her always doing me. I need to do her. And like I told her, I don't put my mouth with nothing but a spoon and a fork. Okay? The second time she got tired of hearing that, you know, she stopped hitting me up for a while. That was cool. We had to have an understanding from day one. If I'm not, you know, hey, I have a very open relationship with my dudes. And I told my guy friend about it at the time, and they both said, you just won't experience enough for her. You just won't, whatever. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. You presented me with the idea. I didn't present you with the idea. So, hey, if I'm not experienced enough for you, if I'm not willing to do what you want me to do, by all means, get the F on. I'm not going to let nobody peer pressure me into doing anything that I don't want to do. Okay? I'm not that girl that you could just get in my head. Well, everybody else said, or, you whack if you don't. I told you all about when I was younger, I was hanging out with the older girls and they were trying to peer pressure me into drinking. Oh, you whack if you don't take a sip. You corny. We not going to hang out with you no more. Hey, by all means, take me home. Take me home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let nobody make me do what I don't want to do. But nonetheless, I just hate when I see y'all in the comments, just like with the LGBTQ, because a lot of y'all full of shit. I literally got in a whole fight just because I didn't want to kiss one of your people, one of y'all members. A whole fight. A fist fight, not even a verbal. A whole fist fight. I literally had to stab one of y'all members, because I didn't want to do what she wanted me to do. So stop making everything about the LGBTQ community. This is not about the issue at hand. This is about this girl calling this girl monkey. That's a dinosaur of a whole nother look. No, that's a whole nother dinosaur. That's not the same. I mean, I get what y'all trying to paint the picture. Y'all trying to make a connection here, but let's just stick to this. This is a colorism topic. Let's let the discrimination and all that other stuff stay over here with the colorism stuff. Just like we can make the LGBTQ community, stick with that over there. That's two different things. Okay? Two different things. Two things could be true at once, yes, but stop trying to always bring y'all stuff in it. Give it a rest. Everything is not the same thing. This is not the same thing. And moral of the story, just like y'all can call this girl out for being a colorist, I can call bullshit on a lot of stuff with y'all as well. Because a lot of y'all try to bully. I told y'all about that time I was at a job, and the girl, because she wanted to talk to me, asked me, oh, have you ever experienced something with a girl, this and that and third? And I told her no, because that wasn't none of her business. But I just told you all my experience. Well, I didn't give y'all the story time, but that wasn't none of her business. And because I didn't want to have that conversation with her, she started being mean to me. She was supposed to be training me. She left me. I had to find my way back. All because I'm not interested in you like that. That's why I said a lot of y'all got shit with y'all. Y'all try to bully people into, well, how she said, you're not being open-minded. You're not. First of all, that's inappropriate because we at work. That's inappropriate. If we really want to take it there, I could have took you in the office for that. That's really inappropriate. So stop that. Because a lot of y'all got shit with y'all. I still stand on that. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to say this. And some of you may not like what I'm about to say, but I don't care. But I think Spice, how can I say this? Spice bringing up the fact that Erica don't have a relationship with her son is kind of a two-headed sword. Because I'm going to say this. You pointing the sword at her, but quiet as it's kept, it's really pointed back at you as well. Because last time I checked, when you call yourself expanding your career, didn't you send your kids with somebody else to stay? Didn't you pull your K. Michelle's card, leaving them with the relative while you was out there expanding your career? Let me tell y'all this. It's just my opinion, but I think y'all bullshit. Y'all cap when y'all do that, because you know how many celebrities out here travel, do concerts and everything with their kids in the background or behind stage? I think that's cap. I could see you saying I'm hiring a nanny or bringing a relative in your house and they just put them on the bus. They just bring them lunch, or whatever. They get them off the bus. Why they gotta go stay with somebody else 24/7? Why you can't tell your relative to move in with you, or why you can't hire a nanny? Why do you think all these celebrities be hiring nannies? I don't care what nobody said, but while I'm here on earth, if I had children, nobody's raising with my creation. I'm here. Now, God forbid, that's a different story. But no. Because to me, can't nobody watch your kids like you can watch your kids. Okay? And the thing is, you don't even have your kids all the damn time. So how can you talk about she don't have a relationship with her son? Because last time we checked, she still raised them, but they just not close. You can't even say the same at this juncture, Spice, because you ain't had them all the damn time. You ain't had them kids all the damn time, and you said you didn't, because you said you were trying to make your career better and all this other bullshit. You think Beyonce gonna send her kids with the relatives? No, she's not. We know Rihanna ain't, and we damn sure know Nicki ain't. And you not even on their level. You're not even in the same league as them. And they still got their kids. That's cap. That's cap, Spicy. She did for me, because I would have told you up with that. Let me have raised my son. And then if we won't close, and then you going to come at me with some shit. A bitch that don't even have her kids all the damn time could never. Bitch, I would have told you up. I would have told you up. By the time I got done reading your ass, you would have been ready to fight me. Because I would have turned you every which way but loose. My ass used to tell me all the time, my mouth could be a sword. Okay, because the way I would have, girl, you would have hated the ground I walked on by the time I got done telling you something. For real. You could never come at nobody parents, because, bitch, you don't even have your kids all the damn time. She did for me, because I would have read your ass for filth. And I wouldn't have had to be in a R word either to do it. By the time I got done turn you up. Go talking about you trying to expand your career. Hell, girl, some of them people on Spotify got more clout than you. And quiet as it's kept, don't nobody really know you for real, but over the people overseas, wherever you be dancing at. And to me, to be honest, Spice, your music is trash. It's whatever you be saying. I mean, you lit over there, but to me, it's trash, garbage can, dumpster juice. Like, girl, boo. I don't want to hear that. The only dance song I really listen to is I'm on a romantic call and talking to my baby, or I like Shabba Ranks. I like Any Camuzo. I know what they be saying sometimes, but hell, I don't want to hear that mess. Be a bop, a deep bop, a deep bop, beat bop. Like, I don't want to hear that mess. That's trash. That's trash. You got some nerve trying to call that girl about her son. See, she did for me, because I would have read your ass. I would have read you. They would have, since you crossing the line, I would have crossed the line right there with you. Since we're going to take it there. Hell, MF has always said I take stuff too far. I wouldn't have had to been an R word either, but by the time I got done turning you up, I'm going to bring my son up. Okay, you didn't talk about her son, but you still brought it up. You still brought it up. So since you want to talk about people parenting, I would have got on your parenting too. Talking about you don't never see her son, this, that, and the third. Hell, we only see your kids on social media. Come on. First time me seeing your daughter was on IG. Come on with it. We doing it right. And anybody can pose in a picture smiling. Many times we've been watching the crime documentaries, and they found out years and years later who the one that really murdered the person. And the whole time they got a picture of that person standing next to the person that murdered them. Anybody can smile in a picture and hate the person's guts. Come on with it. See, Spice, for real, Erica did what she did and it was wrong, but you been crossing the line. You been in her business. You been in her business. Now, to me, to be honest, I think it would have been better if she just smacked the shit out of you and y'all just went ahead and fought. Because sometimes y'all just got to speed up the process anyway. You been needing to get smacked for real, Spice. You been needing that. You need to get smacked right back into your place. And that blue wig on you is ugly. And your music is trash. I don't think I had told you that yet. Your music is trash. And that blue wig is ugly. It don't. Let me leave it alone. I think oftentimes people quit to play the leave kids out of it. Kids are off limits card. Because a lot of the time people don't want to hear the truth. Okay? So y'all quit to play that card knowing that all hell gonna break loose about the churns. As it should. But sometimes I think y'all play that card because that's a cop out. That's a cop out, especially when y'all getting red. Y'all hate when people do that, right? I'm gonna give you an example. A personal example actually. So not too long ago, I had somebody try me on a job, right? So this particular person was out on leave, I want to say for about 3 months. 3 months. Because first his son got sick. Then his wife got sick, right? So I was talking to my deuce about it. Mind you, before he left, um, before he left, we weren't on the best of terms because he was very judgmental. He was very judgmental. He told me himself to my face that when he first met me, he thought I was rough around the edges. But he knew he told me his exact words were when he first met me, he knew I was rough around the edges, but you could tell I still had a little class with me. But you could tell I was from the streets. So I told him, I said, well, first of all, I'm not from the streets, but I may come off a little that way because, I didn't want to tell him things in my past, but I just said, I may come off a little this way because I don't really take a lot of nonsense. You see what I'm saying? So then he took that the wrong way. But I didn't want to come out. I didn't want to tell him my business. Like, I may come off a little rough around the edges because of things I've been through. So that's just in my nature, which he's not the only person in my lifetime that I have encountered that has told me that when they first met me, I came across rough around the edges. I had a lady tell me once before on another job a while ago that when she first met me, I had on a suit, but you could tell that I was rough around the edges. You see what I'm saying? So like I told both of them, nothing about me is hard. Nothing about me is, if I have to be that way, I will. But, so nonetheless, you'll see how this relates. So the reason why I say that when he came back, even when he was gone, it's like it won't really, because we won't, you know what I'm saying? We won't, he was very judgmental. We won't, and he just kept, every time he got around people, he would say, well, I just prejudge you. And I showed him my degree, my pre-law degree. I said, nothing about me is rough around the edges, right? So, of course, I ain't going to tell him about all the times I used to fight growing up and stuff like that. And he said, oh, I prejudge you. He would just, but even after that, he would still say stuff. So my dude said, you ain't have to show him shit. You ain't got to prove nothing to him. He sounded like he was already ready to judge you. You weren't there nothing but 2 days, and he was already ready to judge you. Right? Even, I remember before I had got promoted, when I would walk through, sometime he would just say, you all right? Which he's not the only person that told me I have a mean mug with me. Like, he's not the only person that told me that. So, but he was very judgmental. So when he left to go out on leave because his family was sick, I didn't really care. I didn't really care, to be honest. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I really didn't care. It really didn't mean anything to me, to be honest, because the way he would treat me when he got around other people, and like my dude said, you went out your way to show him that degree. You tried to explain to him is you're not that way, and he still judge you. So that's why I always tell you, you don't have to prove shit to nobody, because they're gonna think what they want to think regardless. Okay, boom. So I'm gonna fast forward. You'll see how this relates to Erica Mena. So, a little time went past. Um, he came back from leave, right? So, long story short, my first time seeing him back, I walked right past him, like, because it's not like I'm about to be, oh my goodness, you're back. Like, it's not given that between us. So, the way I saw him out the corner of my eye, he looked like, you know. But one thing I've learned on in life, a lot of the times when you may have this one particular person that everybody is used to being in their face, like they used to everybody giving them a hug, they used to everybody being in their face, you know, that could come across as problematic because they in their mind they think you have a problem with them, but the whole time, for whatever reason, I just met you, I don't know you like that, we not cool like that, or whatever the chips may fall. Some in their mind um they not already develop an idea that you do not like them. But the whole time you just don't feel no type of way towards them. It's not like that between us. So why am I running up on you, giving you a hug? Because we not like that. When you left, we weren't like that. I barely speak to you. I don't really speak to you, truth be told. I walk right past you like I just did. Didn't even look at them. A lot of the times that's problematic to people. So, boom. So I walked past and sat down, in my working area. So then, I saw him maybe a couple of times. I think when he came back, we all worked little days where we telework, some days in the office, whatever. So when he came back, some days I noticed he was teleworking more than he was in the office. Because I would hear people ask about him and stuff like that, how his wife was doing, stuff like that. So long story short, you'll see how this relates to the Erica Mena situation. One day he was standing at the copy machine. For some reason, something just told me to go to the other copier before I printed to that. You know how you print to particular copiers, but my computer is set up to multiple printers. So for some reason, something was just telling me to go to the other copier. I don't know why. But I went to that particular copier because sometimes my cat card acts up with the other printer when I need to scan to my email. So I knew I was going to print it and scan it to my email. Anyway, nonetheless. So boom. So I print my stuff and I see him standing at the copier. So I really don't want to, I didn't like the way he treated me from day one. I didn't like it. I think what it was, my dude told me when he came back, the reason why he looked like that when you passed by, because he probably thought you had put it in the past. And I did, but I still didn't appreciate that. So I didn't really want to be bothered. And I'm not about to say hello to you because I don't really, I don't really have anything to say to you. I didn't like the way he treated me when he first met me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I didn't want to say nothing. So I was like, ugh, because I was thinking to myself, I need this paper, but I really don't want to be bothered with him. And sometimes when you come back for your paper after you'd already printed, it may not be there, it may be in the shredder, because there's a lot of people coming to that printer. Sometimes people will be decent enough and say, hey, is this yours? Or they may leave it there. Sometimes people got their own stuff to get, so they're not going to be worried about it, because if you don't print it with your name on it, that could be anybody's. That could be anybody. So I said, oh, then if it ain't there, I'm going to have to go back and. So anyway, so I go back to my working area. So he comes in and he's like, hey, is it a problem? What I'm saying? Like, that's why I say, certain people can call, act like it's not a thing all they want. But certain people, that's why I have learned to, like, be careful feeling bad for people. Because originally when I found out his son was sick, that did kind of touch me a little bit. You see what I'm saying? But I'm learning in life, sometimes you can't be so quick to feel bad for people because you don't know who they really are. And one thing Denzel Washington said, your karma can skip you and hit your kids or somebody you love. And people don't never want to admit that. And you'll see how this works, right? So he comes behind me saying, is it a problem? Because I was standing at the printer and you huffed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at him, which I try not to look at him because I really don't like him. And I said, did you really walk all the way over here to say that? And he said, well, yeah. So I turned around and put my earbuds in, right? So because I know and then I had texted my mama. My mama said, it's a trap. It's a trap because he already said you rough around the edges. He done already told people this. It's a trap. He wants you to get rowdy with him. So he could be like, I told you guys, da da da. So, boom. So I turn around, mind you, he comes back again. That's when my deuce was like, okay, he trying to provoke you. I'm way over here. My seat, imagine my seat is nowhere near his seat, right? He comes back again and he says, hey, Miss So-and-so, I'm talking to you. Da-da-da, my dude said, just keep turning around. He trying to provoke you. He trying to provoke you. I just want to know, is it a problem because you huffed at me? Da-da-da. Y'all, he took me to HR because he said I huffed at him. He took me to HR because he said I huffed at him. You see what I'm saying? So when I came out, I was livid. I said, this N word really just took me to HR. See, that's why I told you all about how a lot of these N words out here, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. A lot of the times they deserve the fate they get. Because here I am, a black woman. Here you are, a so-called black man. And you taking a black woman to HR because she huffed at you. Because she huffed at you, you playing with another person's job, which it didn't go nowhere. But still, because somebody huffed at you. And like I told him when I came out, actually, like I told him when I came out, you have enough on your plate. And you'll see how this went, love. You have enough on your plate. You have a sick wife at home, a sick son at home. You need to be trying to write off all your wrongs so the universe could take its foot off your neck. You don't need to be going out your way to spite nobody. Ain't your wife sick? Ain't your son sick? Then I heard people say, wait, hold on. No, you need to be trying to do everything right. So the universe can say, okay, let me let up a little bit. So when people hear that, wait, you bringing the kids in it? No. People keep forgetting. Sometimes the stuff you do, the little sneaky stuff you do, it comes back harder and it may not always hit you. It could hit somebody you love. Then you wonder why things are the way that they are in your life. You wonder why. Who takes another person to HR because they huffed at them? Really? Really? And like I told my dudes and I told him, I ain't got to get you back for shit because the universe already whooping your ass. The universe already whooping you. I ain't got to do it. Life is already whooping your ass. I ain't got to do it. And see, that's why I say sometimes you got to be careful feeling bad for people because You don't know if you walking in their life in their season of karma or not. You don't know. People tell you what you want, what they want you to know. You don't know. A person meet him tomorrow. He tell them his wife is sick and his son sick. What's human nature? You gonna feel bad for him, right? You gonna feel bad for him. But you don't know what he has done prior to that. You don't know. You just meeting him when at the point where he told you that his wife and his son was sick at the same time, severely. But you don't know what Hina just did on the job. You don't know that Hina just took somebody to HR because they huffed at him. You don't know that he tried to play with somebody's job. You don't know that. But all you know is what he tell you. And see, people got to remember, when you do certain shit out of spite to people, sometimes it comes back and hits you 2, 3, 4, 5 times even harder. You came to my desk in twos, twice. You asked me that same question twice. It was my second day when you told me you thought I was rough around the edges. That's 2. That's not the second time. That's not the first time that you went around there to people saying, how you felt about me. That was in 2s. And truth be told, like I told everybody, let me tell you something. You've been mad salty ever since that time you told me you wanted to take me to lunch. My first day. And I said I didn't want to go. I said, I had to go do this. I had to go do that. He said, well, how long is that going to take? I said, I don't know. And my dudes told me you shouldn't have did that. You should have made time because he probably feel like you going to turn him down. I said, Mom, that's a married man. She said, it don't matter. The second day, all of a sudden, I'm rough around the edges. You asked me, could I take you to lunch? You asked me, could you take me to lunch? I said, oh, no, I got to do this. I got to do that. You said, again? I said, yeah. My dude said, no, you shouldn't have did that because that's the second time he took you. I said, Mom, that's a married man. She said, it don't matter. So later, close to the end of the day, all of a sudden, I'm rough around the edges. He been keeping his foot on my neck ever since. But I just give you that example to say, people hear you say, kids sick, then they like, oh, you bringing the kids in. No, I'm painting a picture to you. You got to be careful because sometimes it don't hit the stuff that you do to other people. It comes back in different ways. Stop playing you bringing the kids in the car. And stop playing that card. So again, when people say, when somebody brings somebody kids in, and bringing somebody kids in, it is like, I were to say something like, come for the looks or, something like that. That's unnecessary shit. That's unnecessary. You could have kept that to yourself, But somebody saying it's your actions, the stuff you do, is coming back and hitting your kids or your mate or somebody. That's not that. That's somebody bringing something to your attention that maybe you need to stop. You need to be trying to get right off all your wrongs, get all your ducks in a row. So you could tell the universe, hey, okay, I did what I did. It was wrong. But I'm ready to move forward now. If you don't tell nobody else but God and the universe. So maybe that season of karma could be over with. And you can step on. Move into a new season. But as long as you keep being in denial and going out your way to spite people, you're going to be right there. Sitting at a standstill. When I first met him, all I could hear about is how he had been there 7 years and how he ain't been promoted not once. That has something to do with it too. Because I was only there 3 months. They was mad salty before I got a promotion. I was only there 3 months. And I had already got a promotion. Already had got a promotion. Oh, that's great. Good for you, because I've been here 7 years and I still ain't got one. You do stuff like that. And see, when I first met him, I said, oh, why not? You know, this was before he asked me to lunch. This was before he started mistreating me. That's why I said, when you first meet a person and you heard them talking, if you're really not listening and you just looking at the bigger picture, it's easy to take that bait. Oh, man, that sucks. Feeling bad for him. But I had no idea he had them ways like that. It don't matter if, when you took me there, it don't matter if it went anywhere or not. Because like the old saying goes, it's your intentions behind it. You did it out of spite. So when you do stuff out of spite, sometimes karma don't come right back immediately. She's very vindictive. She's a vindictive bitch. She sometimes can get you when your guard down. She could get you when everything going good. Then you wonder why things are the way that they are. Think about it. And stop playing you talking about people kids card. I don't like, even if it doesn't has nothing to do with me. But if I heard somebody read somebody based off that and saying you wonder why da da da, I'm not one of those people that's gonna say what the other person automatically talk about people kids. Because sometimes y'all so quick to hear that and then y'all just jump fence. But that's ignorant. That's ignorant. You gotta listen to all the facts before you comment. Because everything ain't what it seems. Now, okay, like I said, going back to this, I just want to give you that example. Yeah, what Erica said was wrong. But truthfully, technically, Spice been bringing people kids in it. And I'm done with it. Oh, yeah. And by the way, like I always tell you all, that's why I don't march for the N-words, right? Because let me tell you something, and it's not all of them out here that's like this particular guy in this story time, but a lot of them are, whether y'all want to admit it or not. And a lot of the times I feel like in the black community, we protect a lot of these N-words that we already probably know ain't shit, but we do it just off the strength of they are a man of color, and it's been hard for them with all black people since the beginning of time. And I feel like we're automatically expected to protect them just because off the strength of them being black. And that's not necessarily true. But I'm going to tell you this, right? Just like this situation right here, I just told you all about. So when I first came, this guy in the story time that I just told you about, his wife was sick and stuff like that, right? I think the son was sick, but I don't know if the wife was sick. I remember people saying, damn, now the wife's sick. So check this out, right? Like I told you, it came in twos. The same way he did me. I'm not saying that's necessarily why that happened, but I'm just saying life has a funny way of bringing things to your attention, right? And you have to be careful how you do people. You have to be careful how you do people now. You really have to be careful. And people don't like to hear that shit. Because to be honest, to me, I think a lot of people don't believe in karma. I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that a lot of people don't believe in it. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't believe in it. I had an MF tell me one time, the only people that believe in karma is the people that can't do nothing about their issue. So they like to believe in the higher force. And I told him, I said, I'm just being honest. This is the same person. But I told him at the time, I said, okay, keep doing it. Whatever you doing, keep doing it and see, don't it come and find its way back to you. Right? But I'm just being honest. This person is no longer with us. This person that I just told y'all about, the one that just said the only people that believe in people that in karma is the people that can't do nothing about their issue. Yeah, he's no longer with us. And to this day, they don't know who did it. They don't know who did it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it that way, but I'm just saying. Let me tell you something. That's the same person that I told y'all about in another story time. You know how I always give examples like I'm giving right now. This example on the Erica Mena situation. He's the same person that I told y'all about once before that used to always tell me that he do all his dirt alone. He do all his dirt alone, and he never told me what he be doing, which I asked him one time. He told me, you don't want to know. He said he told me himself. He said I'm taking all my dirt to the grave, and he really literally did. He literally did. He literally did. You see what I'm saying? So he always told me he did a lot of shit he ain't proud of, which we all have. But I'm gonna just say this: a lot of the times when he would wear shoes and different stuff and expensive stuff, I believe a lot of the times he was doing stuff he ain't had no business doing. But I'm gonna leave that there, cause he ain't work nowhere. He used to work little odd jobs every now and then, but it won't bringing in no Louis Vuitton, Gucci, taking pictures. You know how people take pictures with the money to their ear. It won't bring in fast food won't bring in that kind of money. I'm gonna just be honest. It won't. It won't. I don't care what nobody say. It won't. Not like no hundreds and hundreds and hundreds stacked up to your ear like that. I believe he was doing stuff he had no business doing. But he was just working a job to keep the police off his ass. People do it all the time. Okay, so nonetheless, I'm gonna leave that there. Yeah, he was cool people, but I'm just using it as an example. You have to be careful because life has a funny way of coming back. And me personally, I'm scared of karma. I'm scared of her. I tell y'all that all the time. I believe in one-on-ones, but that's one bitch I don't want to fight. Not a one-on-one, nothing. I don't even want to have words with her, okay? That's one bitch I don't want no part of, no smoke. But nonetheless, let me tell y'all something, right? And y'all could take this however y'all want to. But I'm going to say it like this. When it's the black people on the black people, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do to each other, right? There's one thing them white folks ain't lie about. There's one thing them whiteys did not lie about. So check this out. When I first came, that same person I told you about, the wife in the sunset, right? He was beefing with the supervisor. He was beefing with the supervisor once upon a time. The supervisor, they ended up putting so many complaints on him, the man had to step down, right? Which I found out later on in the end, but close to his end, that he won't shit. On his way out the door, he ended up finding another job, so he ended up stepping down. Well, actually, he ended up stepping down from the supervisor position, and he took a grade lower than mine. Close to mine. If you're familiar with the government, you know about the grades. So he ended up taking a grade down because I kept hearing people say he about to get fired. So it's one of the things where you resign, and he took a grade lower. Well, a lot lower than the supervisor. But anyway, so he ended up taking a job outside of the command because, he was just people kept putting in complaints. I mean, what makes it so bad, it wasn't just the black people doing it, it was the white people doing it too. So, then they had stamped him as an R word. So I overheard his friends telling him, once they stamp you that these days, it's done. It's finito. So, he ended up leaving because they had so many complaints on him, and he was one of the people that took the man to HR. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how the cookie crumbled, right? So at first, he was one of my favorite people because, I'm the type of person that get to know people for myself. But nonetheless, that particular time they was right. He was, while he was supervisor, he didn't do nothing to me. But on his way out the door, you ever feel like somebody about to leave, so they trying to like tell you what they really feel about you? You know what I'm saying? Like they, trying to flex on you. I got that vibe from him. So that's what made me leave him alone. That's what made me like, So I said to myself, then yeah, they was right about you. But anyway, so nonetheless, more of the story, he was telling me about how the old supervisor, when I first came, he was telling me how he always take the black people in the office, da da da. So, he was telling me about that. And more of the story, he was just telling me how the man like to play with people's jobs and, stuff like that. And, he was saying, word on the curve, he ain't gonna be here that much longer, da da da. So, which he was right about that, because he won't there much longer after that. So, boom. So, actually, we still waiting on a supervisor to this day. We still don't have one. And before he left, he was like, I hope y'all new supervisor treat y'all like shit. I hope da da da. And he kept saying, I'm just playing. But my dude was like, nah, he really do hope that supervisor come in and treat y'all like shit, because he felt like y'all got him out the door. So he hoping that new supervisor come and give y'all a hard time. He really do mean that. So anyway, I'm hoping, of course I'm hoping the opposite, but nonetheless. So boom, right? So more of the story is just, when we do it to each other, it's okay. Like how he took me in the office for huffing my breath at him. Well, not huffing my breath at him, but huffing, because I didn't even go that way. I was way over there. As soon as I saw him from a distance at the printer, I went back to my working area. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay for you to take me to HR for, you know what I'm saying, huffing once I see you. But when somebody do it to you, a white person, it's not okay. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say, and I'm a black woman and you supposed to be a black man. But if, God forbid, you were to go out here today and tomorrow, run into a police officer, put their foot in your ass, let me guess, I'm automatically expected to march. That's why I say, y'all can do it to us, but then when something happen to y'all, we supposed to be front line, ready to knock shit over about y'all. But when it come to us, y'all just do us any kind of way, and we just automatically expected to fall in line. But let me guess, it was not okay when the Caucasian person did it to you. But like my dude said, well, you don't understand, because we've been taking a lot of shit off them since the beginning of time. But that's, of course we have. But let me guess, because it's a black person, it's automatically okay because they're not white. That's why I say it's a double standard. So let me guess, we could do it to each other, but they can't do it to us. And then I heard people say, oh yeah, that's right. But no, it's not okay. Because when a white person play with your job, quiet as it's kept, he may have been how he was. But truth be told, if he tell you to get off the phone and he your supervisor and you still on the phone, and he take you to HR for that, that's not being petty. Because a lot of jobs you can't be on the phone on the job. That's not being petty. That's not being petty. As your supervisor, he gave you an order and you did not follow. So he took it to HR. He could have wrote you up for that. But he called himself taking you to HR to get the point through your head. You cannot be on the phone. That's not being petty. So, nonetheless, a lot of jobs would have wrote you up off the rip and would have turned into HR. He gave you a verbal warning. That's not being petty. So, nonetheless, just wanted to throw that out there. That's why I said I don't be I see stuff on the news and I keep scrolling, minding my business, because a lot of y'all full of shit. But I'm gonna leave it alone.